I've seen a lot of videos online of teachers and administrators and just public school people, and usually they represent them in a pretty bad light. The point of the video is to show how incompetent the public school system is in the U.S. And fair enough. I look at these videos, and a lot of them do really seem dumb, or don't know what they're talking about, just complete incompetence. And I'll notice in the comments a lot of moms comment on these videos, and they'll say things like, this is why I homeschool my kids, or this is the reason why I'm going to homeschool my kids. And it got me thinking about homeschooling and whether that's the right thing to do. And, first of all, before I really go into my rant, there's specific situations for everyone. Not everyone needs to be put in a box. Maybe homeschooling is right for you. Your kid has a physical impairment, can't get to school. Your kid's getting bullied just so severely, you have to take them out of school. Maybe the school is just so bad, it's that bad, your kid's not learning anything. You really needed to take them out of school, or it'd be detrimental, Or, you got those Olympic kids, they don't have time for school. If you're an Olympic gymnast, I got to focus on that. You're going to be impeding your kid by putting him in public school. But I highly doubt that these, Facebook moms are, raising Olympic gymnasts, or at least not most of them. But anyway, so I understand the, particular circumstances where homeschooling might be right for you. And I also understand too that some of these teachers really are dumb. I remember, I was back in public school, I believe 7th grade. There was this map on the wall in the classroom, and it was one of those maps where it was a map of the U.S., and then adjacent to California, there's this box out in the ocean on the map, and it's of Alaska. And so some kid asked the teacher, he said, "Is Alaska an island? I see it's out in the ocean." And the teacher looks at the map, she looks at it for a little while, and turns to the kid and says, "Yes, I think it is. It's out in the ocean." I mean, how fucking stupid do you have to be? And this lady was teaching, I believe it was 7th grade, if I remember. So that kind of incompetence does scare people. But here's the thing. When I think about my time in school, I went to, in-person school my whole life, or at least when I was growing up. I don't think about the arithmetic and writing I learned, which is important, and maybe you could probably teach that to your kid yourself. It wasn't that I remember. It was the bonds I had. The things that I really learned was how to interact with people, how to develop social skills, how to pick up on things, how to pick up on if someone's making fun of you, someone doesn't like you, someone does like you, when to say things, when to not say things. Also, how to deal with adults. I had a lot of incompetent teachers. I had some amazing teachers, that I really respect, but some real, fucking incompetent ones too. And you have to deal with that. And it really helped me out in life. And that's kind of my point here, is that we really have to rely on everybody. We're very social beings. We're a social species. We thrive on others. I have to rely on people to make me this shirt. I don't know how to make a shirt. I don't know how to build an apartment or build furniture. All of these things around me, I have to rely on others. So unless you want your kid to, go live out in the forest with bears alone, I mean, I guess you could do that, but that's not really practical. It's really good to send your kids out to school, even if it's shitty. I'm a firm believer in that, because if your school is moderately shitty, I still think it's really beneficial for the kid, maybe even more beneficial, because, later on in life, you're going to have to deal with an incompetent boss, an asshole of a boss. I've had plenty of those too, and I don't know if I'd be ready to deal with that if I was homeschooled. I knew how to manage that. I knew how to communicate with people who I really despise. So I say that even if the school is moderately shitty, send your kid there. And as a parent, if you're really concerned about some of the values they're teaching your kids, I think that's kind of on you to, let your kid understand what those values are and why they're important, and how to decipher whether another adult who's speaking to you, whether that person is giving bad information or something that should be worth hearing. It's kind of on you to teach your kids those values and decipher the good and the bad, not really, isolate your kid from any bad ideas. That's really impractical, and you're going to make a really weird kid in the process. So that's my take on homeschooling.